The Watchers, directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan, stars Dakota Fanning. Mina finds shelter after getting stranded in an expansive, untouched forest in Western Ireland and unknowingly becomes trapped alongside three strangers that are watched and stalked by mysterious creatures each night. This is the first movie from its director, who is, of course, the daughter of M. Night Shyamalan, and from watching the movie, you can tell that the auteur blood doesn't fall far from the tree, whether for better or for worse. The fact that there's that connection made me at least somewhat intrigued to check this out, as I'm sure it will for many audiences, as the main marketing for this movie is really honing in on that fact. Dakota Fanning helms the cast of people together, as she is no stranger to horror, from being in such horror classics like Coraline and The Cat in the Hat. Her character in this movie is really unlikable from the way she's written. She's just not a very good character, which makes it hard for the audience to care and connect with her. They set her up early on to not be a good person, but at the same time it ties into certain things that happen later on in the movie so that the writers could feel smart for doing this, even if it sacrifices your character for being a bad person. Along with her character being a shitty person, she's written to be really annoying too, so that doesn't help. Olwen Fouere plays the exact same role that she has done any time she's in a horror movie, at least from what I've seen. I only seen her in Harrow not too long ago, and her characters in these two movies could genuinely be interchangeable for the most part. She basically acts as an exposition dumper, telling the characters and the audience all the convenient lore they need to know and how to survive through it. And I get it, you get typecast, it's gonna be the type of roles you're in for a while. I just find it funny how I see her in these two roles similar to each other so soon after one another. The story of this movie is pretty standard stuff. We follow these four people who are stuck in this house in the woods they call the Coop, and every night when the Watchers come, they basically have to act like their normal lives, almost like a reality show, which is paired with the group having to watch an actual reality show, which from the brief clips they show, looks like a parody of the show Love Island. The only humorous part about that is how accurate they made this fake reality show feel. There's usual beats we have to sit through where there's usual rules of how the world works, and because Dakota Fanning's character is a bitch, she breaks all the rules, originally for selfish reasons. Eventually she does try to help the others out in the situation, which I guess I can appreciate them for at least giving her character an arc, but it seems pretty late into the movie when this happens. The third act of this movie really drags, and despite it wrapping things up, it almost felt like it wasn't needed. Something happens near the end and I was thinking to myself, alright, I guess that's it, I'm ready for this to wrap up now. Nope, we need to sit through what felt like another 20 to 25 minutes that went on and on. And since this movie belongs to the Shyamalan bloodline, we are subjected to a really stupid and really obvious twist. Like, at least with M. Night, with his bad movies, when the twists are stupid, they're made to be so convoluted and over the top that you can't help but be surprised and laugh at what's happening on screen. In this movie, it's just painfully obvious from its setup. I was shocked that there were some idiots in my theater audibly gasped at the twist's reveal. I didn't enjoy the Watchers' design very much. It doesn't help the fact that they're CGI, but they follow this stupid trend in horror of having really tall, lanky, ambiguously nude creatures. You are sick of seeing it. I'm sick of seeing it. It's a trend that needs to die out. What really annoyed me about how they handled them was once they showed the Watchers, they can't get enough of showing them, which means they're putting the effects out on display. I think it would have been better, if not kind of scarier, if it was handled in a few different ways. Either show little glimpses of them, show them once, or literally never show them, since technically for a good majority of the movie, the main characters don't even see them either. I just think it would have been better for the movie not seeing them, because if your effects aren't done well, it's better to show it off less. Overall, I didn't enjoy this movie. I only seen it recently and I'm struggling to remember points of it because it's incredibly forgettable, which is another massive offender for a horror movie, but there are many like that and this movie falls nicely into it. Now, does this mean I never want to see another Ishana Night Shyamalan movie again? No, in fact, I want her to keep making movies, as it'll be interesting to see how she evolves over her career. I'll be hopeful in seeing if she can provide some good tension and spooks in her next outing, but for now, this movie holds none of that. I'm giving The Watchers 2 stars. It's a pretty stupid and incredibly bland, boring excuse of a horror movie that on the surface has a pretty interesting concept, the more you think of it. However, it's unfortunately not executed to the best it could have been. It's not scary at all and has very little to no tension. It's a directorial debut that falls flat and is an easily forgettable flick.